When you ran the Port Authority, did you find that its structure and, in particular, the sort of bi-state loyalty systems that were created, did you find that that structure inhibited the agency's effectiveness? And if so, how should it be reformed?
Thank God I can go back to my old job, because this one's hard enough. Yes. Honestly, for those of us who care, I worked twice at the Port Authority as the first deputy executive director and then later as executive director. And what's going on there is very sad to watch, right? That was an agency specifically created in the 1920s as a rebuke to the political environment of its time, to the Tammany Hall politics of the 1920s. And the sort of brave notion of it was you could create a quasi-public entity that would be immune from politics and would operate on business-like practices. That is literally the core vision of the Port Authority. 70-some years later, we find it exactly the opposite of that, riven with politics and filled with poor business practices. It's very sad for a lot of people who have devoted their lives to that agency, and there are many people who work at the Port Authority whose parents worked at the Port Authority because of their belief in that kind of progressive, old version of progressive vision. The question is, can the toothpaste be put back in the tube, right? The only good thing about it is that it has called attention to the problem, which had been there for a while. It actually goes back 20 plus years, but it had gotten dramatically worse in recent years. And maybe has created an impetus for actual reform. So sometimes you have to hit the bottom before there's a bounce. And the Port Authority and some of those actions we've all read about may actually have hit the bottom. And I'm very hopeful there will be some effort to create a bounce by dealing with some of the structures that created that problem.